Welcome back. So in this lesson we are going to look at how we use the past perfect in relation to how we use the past simple. So we're going to be comparing the two tenses. Yeah. So past perfect or past simple, what do you choose and why? Right, so sometimes you want to talk about a past event, and generally if you are talking about a single event in the past, you will use past simple or simple past. Robert was late for work. Kate wasn't at home when I called. Okay, but sometimes you also might want to talk about an event that happened before this event. So this is where we're getting into the sequence of events in the past. So this is the event and you want to talk about what happened before this event. This is in the past and everything else happens before this event. And that's where you need the past perfect. The past perfect allows you to add a sequence to your events in a very logical way. So Robert was late for work becomes Robert hadn't got up on time, so he was late for work. Kate wasn't at home when I called becomes Kate had just left, so she wasn't at home when I called. Yeah. Now you can also see from the sentences and the sentence structures that they're very different. Yeah. The simple past, if you want to talk about something that just happened in the past, a single event that started and finished in the past, past simple is perfect and it's ideal. But for the majority of you guys, you're probably going to want to at some point describe or even write in an essay, okay, a sequence of events. And the best way to do that for those events that happened in the past is to use the past perfect. Yeah. So this is a single sort of clause, but Kate had just left, so she wasn't at home when I arrived, is actually a sentence with two clauses. So we have a conjunction, which is connecting the two parts of the sentence together. Okay. We've got words like just, and if you remember already, yet, just and still from the present perfect sections, you will know how to use them, and you'll know that these words can be used in the past perfect as well. Right now, let's take a look at another sequence of events, and then we'll try and create a past perfect description of those events. Here we have a sequence of events. Hopefully this has never happened to you, it's never happened to me, hopefully it never will happen to us. Yeah? But here's a sequence of events. So the first thing that happens in our sequence is the house was broken into. Okay, so at some point the house was broken into. The second thing that happened in our sequence is we arrived home from the party. And the third thing that happened in the sequence is I called the police. So this is a sequence of events, but what we're going to do, we're going to describe this sequence and we're going to use this as our fixed point in time. So we're going to use this as our fixed point in time and describe the events that happened before this. Okay, so we're going to do that, and let's actually write the sentence as we do it. So the sentence: we arrived home from the party. We arrived home from the party. Okay, so this is our fixed point in time, and we're using simple past. We arrived home from the party. Now, anything that happened before that, we're going to describe using past perfect. So we arrived home from the party to find that our house had been broken into. Okay, so we arrived home from the party, simple past. Then the event that happened before that is to find that our house had been broken into. Had been, past perfect. So I called the police. So I called the police. Yeah? And again, we're reverting back to the simple past here because this event did not happen before we arrived home from the party. It happened after the party. So if we could sort of draw a timeline, for example, well, let me draw a timeline here. Okay, this is now. Okay, this is in the past, and we're using the past perfect to describe it. This is the point in time when we arrived home to find that the house at some point before that had been broken into, and then after that point, about here, I phoned the police, again in the past. Okay? So we're sequencing. This might be a little bit complicated to start with, but trust me, you can use the past perfect. You can master it just by thinking logically about when something happened. What happened? Choose your fixed point in time and then think about what happened before that is past perfect. Anything that happened after that is simple past. Okay? Anything before your fixed point in time in the past is past perfect. Anything after it, simple past.